Arsenal Football Club have their striker in Victor Gyökeres. They are still pursuing Eze. It looks like Arsenal will trigger the release clause. But with the news that Isak is about to join Liverpool, or Liverpool are pursuing Isak, who just handed Newcastle a transfer request, who told him that he wants to explore another move. Should Arsenal go and explore adding another attacker even after Eze to actually be able to compete with Liverpool, who are about to sign one of the best strikers in the world? The reigning champions Liverpool are upping their game after adding Wirtz and Ekitike. They're about to add Isak, and that actually, just to be honest with you, it makes it a little bit less competitive. We'll talk about it. We'll give you a massive update about Rodrygo and what Rodrygo is going to do and how can Arsenal sign him if they sign him and what happens with Eze and what is going on at the club at the current moment. But make sure before we go on and talk about it and give you my opinion to hit that like button underneath the video. Subscribe to the channel, of course, if you are new. Turn on this notification bell to actually know when we go live and when we do videos. And also leave a comment below. Number one, Fabrizio have tweeted and actually said that in the next 24 hours, Victor Gyökeres will complete his medical, or he's going to start his medical, and he will be announced as an Arsenal player soon enough. Now, what Victor Gyökeres offer Arsenal is a lot of goals. What Victor Gyökeres offer Arsenal is something that they haven't had since Aubameyang. Is that true number 9 that is in the box, that will score goals and will get at the end of the chances that is created by the likes of Odegaard, by the likes of Bukayo Saka, even by the likes of Martinelli. Now with Zubamendi there, he can create chances as well. We have seen that from Zubamendi in the Spanish national team and in Real Sociedad. That is a striker that Arsenal needed for a while. There are a lot of games that Arsenal played, and we just looked at Arsenal and said, if you had a striker, if you just had a striker, you would have scored these goals. And that is what Arsenal have missed, and that is what Arsenal have needed for the longest time. But there are other areas in the team that should improve, because yes, you're bringing in Gyökeres. Yes, he's doing the business for you, but Liverpool, which is basically the main rivals currently to Arsenal, are actually up in their game. And hats off to them. They are spending a lot of money and they are building a formidable team, and a team that is amazing. But what should Arsenal do to actually counter this? This is one of the things that we will talk about. And I wanted to tell you, actually, because I heard a couple of opinions online about this, and I like these opinions, of course. Yes, Arsenal, as it is reported, are pursuing Eze. And he already told his friends, as it is reported by Graham Bailey and other sources as well, that have said that he's actually told his friends that he's joining Arsenal. That is what Arsenal need currently in the midfield. Is he a good winger? He's probably better than Martinelli and Trossard. But again, the midfield had a problem, and I think Eze solves the midfield problem, but doesn't solve the winger problem. The midfield problem was creativity. Arsenal were not on the top 3 teams in terms of creating chances last season. So yes, we'll talk about Gyökeres and him being the striker, but Martin Odegaard, they are banking on Martin Odegaard to go back to his best, to the 2 seasons that he had before last season, before his injury last season, when he was magnificent in that midfield, and he was creating chances left and right, and he was top of the chart in Europe in terms of creating chances. But what if Martin Odegaard doesn't go back to his best? We have seen that quite a lot of times when players take a dip and it takes them a season or 2 to go back to their best, and sometimes they don't go back to their best. And now the team is left with a problem that who's going to create chances? Because Arsenal have Zubamendi, Moreno, Havertz, Rice, Norgard, and Martin Odegaard. The only creative outlet in that midfield is Martin Odegaard. But Eze solves that problem. Because if Martin Odegaard is not creating chances, it's a choice for Mikel Arteta. It's either he benches Martin Odegaard or he adds Eze to Martin Odegaard in that midfield to give him a little bit of freedom and maybe play Declan Rice as the 6, as sometimes he did when he played Kai Havertz, Martin Odegaard, and Declan Rice in the beginning of 2 seasons ago when Thomas Partey was injured. And he played Declan Rice as a 6, and he won a lot of man of the matches. And he played Havertz there, and the team looked okay, looked good, didn't look bad. Now, Eze is better than Kai Havertz in the middle, so that solves the midfield problem. Eze is a phenomenal player. I love Eze. For me, one of the players that I like the most in the Premier League, and I like watching, and I think he unlocks a lot of defenses, and I think he carries the ball magnificent, is Eze. He's not expensive. He's only £60 million. That is a release clause. But that release clause is paid on 3 installments. So you basically, out of Arsenal's pocket this season, will be only 20 million pounds. That is a good deal for Arsenal that they can trigger this. But Arsenal should actually target someone else as well, which is Rodrygo. We have heard that Liverpool might be leading the race for Rodrygo if they sell Diaz. But what if Liverpool spend their money on Isak and leave Rodrygo on the market if he's asking to leave Real Madrid? The meeting is going. I'm going to let you hear the Fabrizio Romano video in a bit. That the guy have said that maybe Rodrygo is about to ask Real Madrid to leave and ask for the price, and he's going to go and bring the price. There are clubs interested, like Paris Saint-Germain, but it was reported that Rodrygo is so interested in joining the Premier League. So there are two teams that are in for him currently, which is Arsenal and Liverpool. Yes, there are reports saying Arsenal out of the race, but maybe Arsenal are waiting for him to be available for them to maybe start negotiating. We know that Liverpool might want to get him, and we know that Liverpool probably, if you ask me now, maybe more attractive than Arsenal currently. But if Liverpool don't have the money for that and they go spend it on Isak, that leaves Rodrygo, who's going to add him. And I wanted to hear this before. I wanted you guys to hear this opinion, who I heard on Twitter, and it's from the with Rory, of course, and one of the guys from Let the Firm, the Arsenal fans, and they said this, and I like this opinion, and I want you guys to hear this. If you're an Arsenal fan or you're even a rival fan, it's a very interesting opinion. Listen to this.
If we were to add Eze, because there's lots of talk about Eze and Arsenal are interested in him, Arteta is obsessed with him. When I look at everything else apart from the Arne Slot picture on the right-hand side, that is a almost 10 out of 10 window. Like, I couldn't have asked for more. But then when you think about what Liverpool could do, and I stress could, and I don't want to sort of, I'm not here to scaremonger. The channel's not like that. Those of you that have been watching for a long time know that, but it's an important topic. I want to talk about it. The standard setters are Liverpool. They are the current Premier League champions. And football is a competitive sport. And you can say on the one hand that we've got a 10 out of 10 window by signing those players because they address squad needs, they do improve the first team, and they give us depth, which is something that we needed. And actually, some of the players are very different to the profile of player that we got in the squad. But if your biggest competitor, the current reigning champions, go out and they make a marquee signing in Alex Isak, does that sway your thinking of our window?
That is exactly why Arsenal should go and sign Rodrygo. Yes, Arsenal are going to do a good business, and the window, as someone says, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. But if your competitor, your direct competitor, is as a player like Isak, doesn't that make you think that the window needs to be better? Maybe sell Martinelli, force him out. Maybe sell Trossard, force someone out to get the better player. Up your squad, up your level a little bit. That is probably what Arsenal fans need. So now you are competitive in every single position. Of course, I've said plenty of times that there are no team that is absolutely complete in every single position. There is no team in the world that's come. Liverpool won the league last season, sometimes playing Diaz up top or Darwin Núñez, who's not competitive enough up top. They actually switched Gravenberch to be a DM, and he wasn't even a DM. So maybe that. There are reports that are saying that Arsenal are still in the Rodrygo race, but they have to sell Martinelli. If that is the case, maybe Arsenal should do that. He shouldn't be attached to the player, because we know that Rodrygo is better than Martinelli. Fabrizio Romano have actually updated the Rodrygo situation. And he said, and I quote what he said. He said that Rodrygo is still waiting for Real Madrid to tell him what his role at the club. And maybe he's going to go. Listen to this. It's very simple. He didn't mention Arsenal in this video, and he mentioned Paris Saint-Germain and Liverpool, but he said that the player is open to move if he doesn't have a role, and the price will be 100 million. Listen to this. This is very quick video.
Including Paris Saint-Germain, so there are several options eventually for Rodrygo. But at the moment it's not an advanced negotiation, not club to club, not player side, because this has to start from Rodrygo. It's Rodrygo who has to go to Real Madrid and say, okay, I understand your position, I want to go, I want to leave. Give me the final price and I will bring offers. So this depends on Rodrygo, and this is up to Rodrygo. So that's the story at the moment. We have to wait, we have to be patient. I know there are many questions, but at the moment, again, the Rodrygo story is not something changing in the next hours. We have to be patient. It depends on the players. All the clubs are waiting to see what's going to happen. All the interested clubs. So I know every day you have rumors on Liverpool, you have rumors on Paris Saint-Germain, you have rumors on several clubs. There is a lot of interest, a lot of clubs attentive. All of them are waiting for Rodrygo to decide. And then also there is the position of Real Madrid, because it's going to be important also to understand the eventual transfer fee. As I told you, the expectations on those close to Real Madrid is for Rodrygo not to leave for less than 100 million euros, and the initial price tag could be even more. But let's wait for this conversation.
So that is what Fabrizio is saying, that you need to actually wait for Rodrygo. He said that there is no club to club talk. There is no player to club talk. So he hasn't agreed with anything. Should Arsenal sign him? Probably, to be competitive with Liverpool. If Liverpool and Arsenal both go for him, I don't know where he's going to end up. You let me know in the comment section, where do you think Rodrygo is going to go? And also, do you think Arsenal should sign him to be competitive with Liverpool if they sign Alexander Isak? That is what I want to know from you guys. Are Arsenal good enough with only Eze and Gyökeres adding to the attack? If Liverpool add the likes of Ekitike, they added Wirtz, and they might add Alexander Isak. We want to see a competitive league, but in my opinion, Isak going to Liverpool makes Liverpool heavily favorites for the Premier League. I know that a lot of people have said that, yeah, maybe Arsenal will do their job and win their games, but Liverpool will win more games. That is my belief. Football is not played on paper, and I understand this. But at the same time, you got to put yourself in the best scenario, in the best possible shape for you to win that. That's if Arsenal want to win the league. Of course, I have no horse in this race, but I want to see a good race. In the same time, I don't want the league to be ending in February or March or April. We want to see until end of May the league is competitive. You let me know in the comment section, guys, what you guys think. Hit that like button, of course, if you are here, and I will turn on the notification bell, of course, and I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to leave a comment, and see you later.